but it was actually Denver that I felt would win the game. And Denver manipulated Kansas City in that final drive. Kansas City's now lost to the Jags, the Eagles, the Bills, Denver, the Chargers, all playoff teams today. 0-5 against playoff teams, and their wins. Raiders, Commanders, Giants, and whatever the Lions are these days. Listen, some of this is you pay a quarterback big money, you have a limited roster. I mean, Sam Darnold, team-friendly deal. Seattle's young. Look at that roster. Yikes. The track team. 7 of the top 8 cap hits in the NFL right now at quarterback. 500 or worse. And the Chiefs have done a really good job to kind of manipulate it so Mahomes isn't a huge cap hit. But Travis Kelce, he's on his last legs. Chris Jones is like the 62nd ranked defensive lineman. Everybody at the top of that salary chart there doesn't feel the same. Mahomes doesn't feel the same. So Denver's offensive line, clearly better. Denver's run game, better. Denver's pass rush, not close, better. Denver's secondary, pretty good. Denver's wide receiver group, I think it's underrated. I like their wide receivers. It can be Franklin now and Bo Nix connect. Mims, Cortland Sutton, the young kid out of Illinois. Like, they got dudes. I watched that game and you watched that game. It felt like to me, when Denver got the ball at the end, they, with Bo Nix on that rookie deal and all that length at wide receiver and that dominant offensive line and that pass rush, they had more options. And we all saw it coming. I didn't think it was a controversial take when I said the dynasty's over for Kansas City. I said that in August, and I said Broncos are going to win the division. You watched it last night. I watched it.
That's so ridiculous because Colin said that, and then he went, folks, I don't know what to tell you. Kansas City Chiefs are here to stay. They're amazing. They're elite. They're the number 1 team in the NFL. So come on. Let's, he's like, they're the best team by a mile, by a touchdown. And now he's like, I told you the Broncos were going to win. Come on.
So this take is actually about the Kansas City Chiefs. It's actually pretty straightforward at this point. I feel as though they're a significantly better team than what their record shows right now. And losing to a last-second field goal on the road against a division rival who is 9-2, whatever the heck their record is, a top team competing for the number 1 seed in the NFL, not just the AFC, but in the NFL, and a first-round bye, doing it against an awesome top coach, Sean Payton, an ascending young quarterback who's a proven big-game player. He's done it since he was a rookie. They've already taken down the defending Super Bowl champions, have historic comebacks, and an elite top defense in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs losing in that situation shouldn't be shocking, but it is, because it's the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the Patrick Mahomes. It's the Andy Reid. It's the Spacs. These guys are invincible. These guys never lose a game when it matters most, unless we can point fingers at the O-line or the injuries. It's like, as long as this team is even remotely competent, they're like, well, they're gonna win. They're gonna win. And for years, we looked at teams like the Broncos. And this is why, when Nick Ray came out and was like, Patrick Mahomes is 13-1, or, whatever the heck, I was like, none of that matters, man. The Kansas City Chiefs own this division. And it's like, this division has been a joke. It's been a revolving door of quarterbacks and coaches who are not in the NFL anymore. The vast majority of them. Certainly not head coaches or starting quarterbacks. And that was the change that the Broncos were part of now, where it's like, no, well, we actually do have a great coach, and we do have a young ascending quarterback. Yeah, he's not perfect right now because he's in his second year, but this team is different. And that's the reality that the Chiefs are facing. The Chiefs have been one of the most, if not the most consistent team in the last 30 years of just their level of consistency. And what's made them so great is that the other teams around them constantly eat themselves, or just so dysfunctional, or just do such bizarre things, right? And to me, again, one of the perfect examples of that for the Chiefs, comparing that to the Chiefs, is the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. Literally not running the ball, literally not handing the ball off. And you're just like, what are you doing? The Chiefs never do those types of things. They never drop that pass to tie the game on a 2-point conversion. They don't miss the field goal, a 42-yard field goal. They don't do that. They're just like, no, we make the plays. You don't. That's it. That's what it gets boiled up. And then down to, we don't run you out. We don't dominate you. We're so intimidating because we just don't make mistakes. We're just incredibly consistent. And if we are down, our defense can come up with a stop. And our offense can come up with a play. And if the play breaks down, we got Mahomes. And when we need a perfect play dialed up, we got Andy. When we need that perfect blitz style it up, we got Spags. But it's still predicated on everyone else just not being good enough. And once other teams catch up and that they're good enough, now it's like, all right, head to head, let's go. What do you got? And that's where the Chiefs have been faltering. I do think it's fair to say that they would have won more games earlier on in the season if they were healthier. And so this record could easily be 7-3, and then there would be a lot less panic. There would be more belief, but now you see 5-5, and you're like, oh my God. And you're like, again, teams lose to division rivals all the time. And the Broncos they are a bona fide top team in the NFL. I know it hasn't been the prettiest, but they are clearly a top team in the NFL. So losing this game shouldn't feel devastating, or like a victory lap of it's the end of the dynasty. Especially when you look around the NFL right now. Who's dominating who? Again, the Broncos are considered to be one of the best teams in the NFL, and they were tied with a last-second field goal. That's how the season that is how this season is unfolding right now. And so it's, in danger of missing the playoffs for the Chiefs. I still don't see that. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do against the Colts, because the Colts have been a great team, but they're clearly not this perfect invincible team, and there's ways to disrupt Daniel Jones, etc., and that will be telling. Because there was this whole idea of, we're looking at a team like the Colts, and we're like, hey, the Colts are winning, but what's their soul? What's the soul of the Colts? Is the soul of the Colts greatness? And that's when we look at the Chiefs. We're like, the Chiefs aren't winning quite yet. They have injuries, blah, 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 blah. But the soul of the Chiefs, who they are to the core, that's greatness. So when you go up against a team that's been playing well, or that's been winning, it's it doesn't matter. It's not really who you are. And who you are eventually reveals itself. And so that's going to be an interesting test. Going up against a severely injured, non-existent O-line Chargers. That'll be interesting. Going up a not such a great Dallas Cowboys defense. Although maybe it'll be improved with some of the moves that they made. But what has been a decently successful offense? Little up and down. They were hotter in the beginning of the season than as of late, but it's we saw what the Broncos did to them. And it's just okay, but the Chiefs, in any other year, they would be in serious danger of missing the playoffs if Lamar Jackson didn't get injured. If Joe Burrow didn't get injured, it's not hard to imagine to give each of those teams at least another win or two. Come on. It's not that far of a stretch. They'd be in serious danger. And if the Chargers didn't get decimated with O-line injuries, it's not hard to imagine that they would have another win or two, at least another win. We're not cooking the books here. We're just how people are saying that the Chiefs would have another win or two if they were healthier, right? If you're going to say that for the Chiefs, and you got to say it for the other teams as well. And so the Chiefs are very fortunate that it's still in the bounds. It is still there for you. Now Aaron Rodgers got injured. Now it's Mason Rudolph's turn. So, And then if they're the 7 seed, I don't know. The 2 seed, you're not going to be lining up to want to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I disagree, and I don't want to make this clip too long. But, I read this last night where it says, Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs inconsistency starts with me. Listen, Patrick Mahomes has not been great. He's not been perfect. He hasn't even been elite as of late. Still obviously an elite quarterback. Still obviously a top quarterback in the NFL. No doubt about it. I appreciate him saying that and him, taking that leadership role. It's easy low-hanging fruit for someone like him. He's not going to fumble that. Again, he hasn't been playing great. Bo Nix outplayed him. Patrick Mahomes had he had 2 devastating interceptions. One obviously was called back, but the one was the red zone. That had massive repercussions on this game, and he was lucky that the other one got called back because that was a pick 6. So, he overthrew a bunch of guys in that first half. He was missing guys. But I'm not going to come out here and say that the Chiefs are 5-5 specifically because of Patrick Mahomes. I think you could maybe argue that there's 1 or 2 or 3 quarterbacks who could potentially be doing a slightly better job than what Mahomes is doing in this situation right now. But I just think that this isn't a Barry Mahomes moment. But this is the obvious. See, this is what we've been talking about. There's no such thing as an invincible quarterback. There's no such thing as perfection. Patrick Mahomes has more than enough tools around him, right? He's got Andy Reid. He's got Specht. The defense held the Broncos to 22 points, right? 19 points into the final second. You can't ask much more from your defense. You're getting enough protection. You have Rasheed Rice, you have Xavier Worthy, you have Kelsey, right? Like, you have enough. And if you need more, that's fine. But then stop pretending that Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback, the only quarterback who can do it all with nothing. Like, that's where you have to stop with that repetitive narrative that Patrick Mahomes wins all the time. He does whatever he wants. He's unstoppable. Doesn't matter who he's there. And you make fun of all these other quarterbacks, and it's like, why? It doesn't really make sense. And this is where I have to always keep emphasizing this, is like, and what you did in the past, it does not matter. Bringing up right now, well, Patrick Mahomes is a 3-time Super Bowl winner. That has nothing to do with anything right now. It has absolutely, positively nothing to do with anything right now. These are not legacy conversations. We're talking about what this means right now. Who Patrick Mahomes is right now, and we're seeing it. And right now the Chiefs, and Mahomes for that matter. It always felt like the Chiefs were slightly above everyone, and it was only ever so slightly, really, kind of. Funny enough, as someone said before, Patrick Mahomes always win runs like 0.1 miles per hour faster than everyone else, and he just gets by. And ironically, that's how the Chiefs have felt for a really long time. It's like, they're just 0.1 ahead, and that's enough to win. Just 0.1, that's it. Now it doesn't feel like they have that 0.1. Now they're just in the basket of all other teams. You used to always look at the Ravens and the Bills and the Chiefs, and you would be like, well, the Chiefs are right above, and you don't feel that way right now. And it doesn't mean that you still shouldn't have tremendous confidence in the Chiefs. If the Chiefs were playing the Ravens in the wild card, or divisional round, or whatever, it's like I'm still leaning Chiefs. If the Chiefs are playing the Bills, right, it would be hard for me to still say I like the Bills in this one. If the Broncos and the Chiefs played each other in the AFC Championship game, it's still hard to think that the Chiefs won't find a way to win. But maybe that is just because of relying so heavily on what they've accomplished in the past. The very thing that I'm telling you guys doesn't really matter right now. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Kansas City Chiefs falling to the Denver Broncos 22-19? Do you think the Chiefs are in legitimate danger of missing the playoffs? How do you think Patrick Mahomes has been playing? Do you agree with Mahomes that the inconsistency starts with him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.